This is how I became a millionaire and star citizen, and how you can too. Now I will give a little disclaimer. So this is more so for newer players. It involves the fight for Pyro missions, so if you've already done those, this might not be a very useful video for you in terms of information, but you might still enjoy watching it. It is also worth adding that 4.0.2 is probably coming out next Tuesday. With that comes phase 3, so you're going to want to get these done as fast as you can. So as you can see, you've got two different mission types. You've got Punish the Outlaws and Destroy the Fuel Supplies. Now the fuel supplies pays quite a bit more money. I would definitely recommend doing it. It's a lot easier to do as well. You don't really have to leave your ship, and there's not a lot of risk, but I'll show you how to do both anyway. Now these missions can be a bit daunting for new players, but as you're about to see, they're actually really easy and you can do them in any ship. So for the fuel supply missions, they're typically at an asteroid base. When you arrive, I'd recommend scanning, just in case there's any AI NPC ships hovering about, or if there's any players in the area, just to get a good, assessment of your surroundings. As you get closer to the asteroid, you should get markers for all the different fuel tanks that you need to destroy. If you don't, you can still do the mission, but you have to find the fuel tanks on your own, and I actually found it easier to just abandon the mission and accept another one. You can tell it's a fuel tank because it's these little globes. It takes a few shots to kill them, they aren't very tanky, and there's always 3. So once you've done the mission, you'll get the payout of 278,000 straight into your bank. Now, I personally would do all 6 of the phase 1 missions as the fuel pumps. If you do this, it's going to make you 1,668,000, which is a lot more than if you mix match with Punish the Outlaws, or just did Punish the Outlaws. However, I'm still going to show Punish the Outlaws missions because you might prefer that mission type. You might not enjoy shooting from your ship. You might actually prefer the ground PvE kind of combat. So when you're coming into these missions, I would definitely recommend trying to land as close to the entrance as you can. You do have to be careful because there's anti-air turrets, and the anti-air turrets, as you might know already, absolutely shred through your ship's shield and hull. You're going to get destroyed really fast. You might have to do a little bit of EVAing, which isn't too bad, you just fly over. Just remember to follow the go to asteroid base marker, and you should come across this door here, which will cycle. You're just going to go inside, and this is where the mission really starts. Now, I will say I never came across any players when I did this, but there are a lot of NPCs in here which will kill you if you're not careful. Typically, as you can see, they should be marked with eliminate target. Now, they might not always be marked, so I'm going to just leave this footage unedited, and you can see exactly where all the enemies are going to spawn, and you can see if you can shoot them or not. So you just have to be a little bit careful when you're doing this. As you can see, there's quite a lot of enemies that can spawn in at once. You just gotta take your time, use the cover effectively, and try and line up your shots so that they can't really shoot back at you, or at least you won't get overwhelmed. I will say some of these guys have a lot of good loot on them, so it's definitely worth checking their bodies. You might find P4 mags, you might find P4 ARs. I think you can find FS9s and FS9 mags, but I'm not 100% certain on that. You do have to be careful sometimes, as you can see. They aren't marked, so just be wary of that. After looting them, I went through into the middle courtyard area, and on the left there's a bar. Now on the bar there's always going to be someone hidden behind the counter. You've got to be careful of that. They have a shotgun. I believe the other NPC in here always has a shotgun too. Just be very careful, because if they catch you off guard, they might do a lot of damage. Again, of course, give the room a little loot. Always watch out for these weapon boxes. They can spawn pistols in, mags and whatnot. There's a lot of decent loot in these asteroid bases, so just watch out for the boxes. A lot of the loot you can get scorched weapons, you can get different rifles, scopes. There's quite a lot that you can get, so it's definitely worth just checking around. Now running through into the next area, on the left over here, as you can see, there is a air fan cooler thing. Don't know what it's called, but basically you go up to it, interact with it, turn it off, and it'll open up this little area for you. So once you get in here, you're going to try and climb up on these boxes and go up this broken staircase. It can spawn some good loot up top here, as you'll see in just a second. So this is the final area where you're going to be fighting. There's always around about 3 enemies here. You have to be careful of these plastic things on the left. I don't think you can shoot through them. I always just run across, get into cover, and take out the enemies. This is where the main loot rooms are at, so as you can see on the left there, there's a counter. Behind there, there's sometimes decent loot, but this room at the back here always spawns relatively good loot. You're always going to find like a decent weapon, so it's worth checking all these boxes out. So to leave here, you're going to go back the same way you came in. You're going to use the same cycle door to get out, and then you're just going to fly back to your ship, and that's that. So in phase 2 you get two different mission types. One is this one, destroy server ships, and the other one is destroy servers. Out of the two, I would recommend just doing destroy servers, but I'm going to show you this one first, and then I'll show you the destroy servers afterwards. So this one does pay more money than destroying servers, but it comes with a much greater risk. As you can see, there was a lot of ships that spawned in during this mission, and I don't think if I was in a smaller ship I could have survived this. So as soon as we arrived, I scanned for the target, and this was the first ship that appeared. Now luckily this actually was the ship that was our mission objective. However, it was very tanky, and it also output quite a lot of damage, as you can see. I'll just let you guys enjoy this air-to-air combat and me almost getting completely destroyed. So since we sustained a lot of damage and essentially would have just got destroyed if we tried to take this head on again, we decided to use a bit of a cheesy tactic, and I had my turret gunner shoot over this rock and hit the target. Well, they couldn't hit us back. So to actually destroy the ship, it took us a lot of time. And as you can see, my hull took a lot of damage. Two of my weapons were completely destroyed, and I lost my front right wing. So these missions are not easy, and I would only do them if you got a serious fighter and if you're very good at flying. The other mission type is destroy servers. I definitely recommend these over destroying the server ships. They do pay significantly less at 336,000, but for me, the risk to reward is so much better doing these ones, and it's way quicker. You could get these done in maybe 15 minutes a time. So these missions use the exact same asteroid bases as the Punish the Outlaws missions, so you should know your way around them by now if you've been doing those ones. It should spawn enemies, however sometimes it won't, and I will warn you, these enemies probably won't be marked. It only marks the servers, so you have to be careful. Just watch out when you're going around corners and going into different areas. The servers will always spawn in the room at the very back, which you can see marked here. It should always be marked on your map, but if it's not, just use this for reference. There's typically 3 to 4 enemies that should spawn in here. You're going to take those out, and then you're going to push all the way to the top of the room and go up here to the left. The servers will be behind this counter. You shoot them 3 to 4 times and they'll be destroyed. There is a chance that you can get these missions on a planet. Again, it's very similar. You just go to where it's marked and destroy the servers, very easy. However, if you do all 6 phase 2 missions as these servers, you'll make 2,016,000. So I would definitely recommend doing them. Obviously, if you've got a better ship, maybe it's worth doing destroy the server ships, but for me, these were the ones to do. So in total, the amount of money you will earn from doing destroy servers and destroy the fuel tanks is 3,684,000, which is pretty good if you ask me. Hopefully this helped somebody out there, and if you do like this style of content, make sure to check out our other videos. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.